Chapter 1755 Sea God Orb. Before the 6 formation lore experts of Sea Palace had time to speak, Yang Kai had already put the Saint Crystal used to start the formation into the all-around groove. Formation started to work immediately. Amidst a burst of white rays of light twinkling, the 6 people only felt lightened. When they reacted, the scenery in front of them had changed drastically. Looking around, the land in front is black and red, and the air all around is full of rich spiritual energy, which seems a bit hot. The environment here is completely different from the sorrowless ocean where the Sea Palace is located. At the foot is exactly the same existence as the space law formation arranged by Own and the others. There are also some martial artists all around, who are in the process of constructing a palace. It seems that the palace is about to be built here. The construction is complete, and the imposing manner is magnificent. The busy martial artists nearby are all wearing uniform costumes, with a small, high, word embroidered on their clothes. The discipline of High Heaven sect. The 6 people at Sea Palace reacted immediately. The owner and the others have reached the vicinity of High Heaven sect, and this place is obviously very similar to the environment of the legendary Flowing Flame Sandfield. The abnormality of the space law formation here alarmed the nearby High Heaven sect disciple. Someone immediately came to check it out. After it was discovered that it was Yang Kai, he quickly cupped one fist in the other hand to salute. Yang Kai waved his hand. I'm just trying to test whether the formation over there is useful. You can go if you are busy. Yes, the disciples ordered. One after another scattered. This space law formation of High Heaven sect was placed outside the Flowing Flame Sandfield by Yang Kai. In this way, it also avoided the drawbacks of others directly entering headquarters through space law formation. This space law formation is of great significance. It is a bridge between High Heaven sect and the outside world. Yang Kai intends to arrange space law formation in the entire Gloom Star and all famous cities, so that High Heaven sect can reach all cities anytime, anywhere. This is also of great help to the future development of High Heaven sect. Sect Master. There is a High Heaven sect disciple not at all leaving immediately, but stove in place respectful cup one fist in the other hand. What's the matter? The Great Elder told me a few days ago that if Sect Master shows up here, please tell Sect Master one thing. Shadow Moon Palace Qian Palace Master half a month ago, there was a message to ask Sect Master to take the time to go to Shadow Moon Palace and say there is something to discuss. I see. Yang Kai nodded. That discipline then retired. Qian Tong is looking for the owner, but I don't know what it is, but he shouldn't be in a hurry. Otherwise, he might have to rush over in person, and now Qian Tong is still a Void King stage powerhouse. In this world there are few things that can threaten him. Yang Kai didn't put this matter in the heart too much. He was ready to finish what he had on hand, and then go to Shadow Moon Palace to see Qian Tong. After testing the smoothness of the space law formation, Yang Kai returned to Black Reef Island with the 6 Sea Palace members. The 6 of them are still unfinished. The old man looked extremely admired, opened the mouth and said, Sect Master Yang, the old man has also used a lot of space law formation, but every time it is used, depending on the transmission distance, there are dizzy and eyes blurred repercussions with different degrees of severity, but this space law formation has never let the old man feel these. Sect Master Yang, the old man admires it. Many nodded said yes. Space law formation is really convenient to use, but space teleportation is a behavior that puts a load on martial artists. This load not only comes from the flesh body, but also targets divine consciousness. The farther the distance, the greater the load. So the martial artist who is not strong, dare not teleport too far. If one is not good, it is very likely that the consciousness sea will be destroyed and become an idiot from then on. Even short distance teleportation is impossible. Too many times in a short time. 6 formation lore experts, who has never used space law formation. It's just a matter of how many times that's all, and I am fully aware of this drawback. The 2 super long distance transmissions of 10 million Li level just now did not make them feel any discomfort. It was as easy as visiting a neighbor's house. In other words, the space law formation hosted by Yang Kai has surpassed the relics of ancient era to a new height. Of course, the old man admires it to the extreme. Yang Kai slightly smiled. It's just such insignificant ability. The transmission token in your hand, please pass it to Old Shah, and tell Old Shah, if the Sea Palace is settled down, then please send someone to High Heaven sect, where I, Great Elder Yi, will discuss material exchange issues with him. Sect Master Yang is leaving now. Should I not rest? Meet Uncle Shah. The old man said to stay. No, I have to go to the Sea God Palace. Yang Kai waved his hand, and disappeared from where he was. Some regretful expressions appeared on the six faces. They briefly discussed for a while and hurried to the center of Black Reef Island. 6 transmission tokens are very important, and they dare not be sloppy. Main idea. Sea God Palace is a huge force that fights against the Sea Palace on the Sorrowless Ocean, and has swept the wise creatures in the entire deep sea. To some extent, the Sea God Palace is much stronger than the Sea Palace, both in terms of the cultivation level and quantity of high-rank martial artists. However, although two people have friction from time to time, they will not go to war on a large scale, so they can coexist with Sorrowless Ocean. The Sea God Palace is actually located somewhere under the deep sea 10,000 zhang. The huge seabed palace group is built by the Magnificent, protected by formation, and the internal air is clear and natural. For others, looking for the headquarters of the Sea God Palace on the huge Sorrowless Ocean is simply to find a needle in a haystack. Even the Sea Palace has been unpredictable. Where is it located? For Yang Kai, it is simple and easy. After leaving Black Reef Island, it only took him one day to lock the location of Sea God Palace and came here easily. Here, he does not at all encounter any difficulties. Although Sea Clan looks down on human race, it is a different race from human race, but always respects powerhouse. Yang Kai undoubtedly has the capital to make them courteous. Even more how, as the little dolphin of Sea Clan princess, he is extremely close to Yang Kai. Qian Mo and Shangao, 2 commanders, also grateful to Yang Kai. So the cooperation with Sea Clan is easier than with Sea Palace. Yang Kai personally went to meet the king of Sea Clan, Little Dolphin's father, and clan head Lai Kong of Dolphin Flood Dragon clan. After the other party did a little trial and determined that Yang Kai's strength was deep and unmeasurable, the two parties hit it off and immediately started cooperation. As at the Sea Palace, Yang Kai requested and Sea God Palace provided the materials. It took him a few days to arrange the 3rd space law formation in the Sea God Palace. Several transmission tokens were refined. With the 2 transmission formations of Sea Palace and Sea God Palace, High Heaven Sect will be able to truly get involved in deep sea materials from now on. When the time comes, whether it is used at home or sold out, High Heaven Sect will never lose money. Instead, it can take advantage of this advantage to expand the material storage of High Heaven Sect and let the practice of the disciplines again. No worries, no need to worry about insufficient supplies of materials. This is the whole Gloom Star, an advantage that no sect has. Yang Kai didn't plan to stay at Sea God Palace for a long time. After everything was done, he bid farewell to Sea God Palace Palace Master Lai Kong. However, before leaving, something unexpected happened to everyone. Little Dolphin wagged his tail and ran to Yang Kai's side, and handed a pearl he had bitten in his mouth to Yang Kai. This pearl has a fist-sized, azure color, as deep as seawater, and does not look big, but when starting with it, Yang Kai discovered that this thing is very heavy, and there are waves and tsunami inside. The sound came out, and the extremely abundant water spiritual energy was up and down. The leaders of Sea God Palace Palace Master Lai Kong and Qian Mo Shangao, who were seeing off after seeing the pearl, they all complexion changed one after another and looked solemn. Many more people showed nervous expressions. This thing, I can't take it. Yang Kai smiled slightly and touched Little Dolphin's head. Although he did not clear what this pearl is, he can infer from the faces of everyone that the value of this pearl is definitely not trivial. Owner and Sea God Palace have just reached a cooperative relationship with Sea God Palace. A great gift. I'm afraid it will make Sea Clan unhappy. The most important reason is that it was sent by the Little Dolphin. The Little Dolphin only has the IQ of a few years old. He acts entirely on his own preferences and cannot represent the wishes of the entire Sea Clan. If this was sent by Lai Kong personally, Yang Kai would not consider it so much. Seeing Yang Kai's refusal, the leaders of Sea Clan all showed a relaxed expression. Little Dolphin was reluctant, and he let out a quick call, as if Yang Kai swore to give up if he didn't accept it. Yang Kai, earnest and well-meant, advised to persuade a few words, but Little Dolphin refused to take it back alive and dead, and tears were almost overflowing in both eyes, making him really helpless, so he could only turn his eyes to Lai Kong. Lai Kong is invisible, his soft eyes fixed on Little Dolphin. For a long while, he faintly smiled and said, "Since Sect Master Yang is so destined for the little girl, then take things away. Look at this stance. If you don't accept it, the little girl will definitely be sad. After all, Sect Master Yang is also the little girl's life-saving benefactor. This is a gift from the little girl. Sect Master Yang doesn't have to refuse." Yang Kai frowned, and asked, "Dare to ask what this thing is? What does it do?" "This is one of the treasures of my Sea God Palace, the Sea God Pearl. which may not be of much use to sect master Yang itself, but if you let the martial artist of practice water attribute cultivation technique and secret technique get it, the effect will be great. It contains a source of sea, water attribute spiritual energy abundant and dense, pure, almost inexhaustible. Inexhaustible, it was the birthday gift this king gave to the little girl 2 years ago. As it is the little girl's own, she can certainly give it to sect master Yang. Lai Kong explained. The source of 1C. Yang Kai moved slightly. This thing really does something for me. If that's the case, Yang will accept it. Lai Kong smile and nod. Several leaders have seen the matter so far, so they can't say anything. But the sea god pearl is too precious, so let's say Yang would like to exchange it for 500 void-grade muddy heaven pills. What does Lai Kong Palace Master think? 500, void-grade muddy heaven pill. Lai Kong's eyes lit up. The expressions of many leaders are suddenly excited.